Owen, welcome to Wimbledon. How important is this move for your development?
It's really important. I want to come here and do good things. Look at past keepers that have come here, have done really well. Especially coming here to be able to work with someone like Bezo, who's got a massive reputation. Just for my development itself, I want to come, play lots of games, aid my career, keep pushing forward. Hopefully I can come in and help the team, and hopefully we can get promoted.
Fingers crossed. Yeah, we've got a lot of recent links with Crystal Palace. We had John Kamani-Gordon, Kofi Barmer, who I know you know well. Did you speak to any of them before you came to us?
Yeah, so I messaged Kofi a few weeks back after I met with the gaffer and Bezo, and I just asked Kofi, like, what's the club like, what's the environment like, what's the lads like, and all Kofi was nothing but praise for the club, for the fans, for the squad itself. And, when someone like Kofi, who's a down-to-earth person, you hear that from him, it's all positive. You want to come here, you want to be part of this environment.
Obviously, as you said, you've been keeping in contact with Bezo between signing and actually coming here. You trained today with him. How did you find that, working with him for the first time? He's a big character.
He's a character which I've never met, but his energy is unmatched. I've never seen someone with the energy he's got, but I think that's just going to help me. That's going to really drive me on. And it's just I walked into the gaffer's office this morning, and Bezo's walked in, and the energy was just it was just amazing from him. So I'm excited to work with Bezo.
Brilliant. Of course, you were in the same league as us last season with Colchester. How did you find that spell? How was that for your development?
I mean, it was tough. It was really tough. It was my first loan. I was going there as a 19-year-old kid. It's not easy, moving away from home a little bit, and it was tough. It was a tough environment to be in. Went through different managers, different style of play. I think in the end I can only see the loan as a success because I played 40 games for the club. Up and downs, things happen as football, but I can only see it as a success, and I'm gonna move on. Forever be grateful for Colchester and what they've done for me. Gave me the opportunity to play men's football, but I'm going to move on, and I'm here now at Wimbledon, and I'm excited for what the future's got to hold.
Yeah, and of course you faced us twice last season. Not going to mention the score too much, that would be a bit rude. What were your impressions of our squad and also the club as a whole? Because obviously you played at Plough Lane, big crowd, under the lights on a Tuesday night. We played Wimbledon twice on Tuesday night. So when we played them at Colchester, even the away fans were just buzzing, loud. The way the team played, some really good players. Then when we played you at Plough Lane, obviously, we don't know how that game went. But the fans were just on it. There was an atmosphere. The fans were together. The squad was together, and playing against something like that, it's not easy. It's terrifying, kind of. But the fans just were unbelievable when we played against them, and the squad itself is a really good squad. And how do you feel like you've improved as a keeper? Obviously you're still 20 years old and you've already played almost 50 games in a League Two season. That's a great achievement in itself, but how do you feel like you've improved personally?
I think I've grown up, I've matured more so. I've learned what professional games really like, the ins and outs of it. Obviously when you go from playing academy football 21s to League Two environment, League Two change room, it's so much different, it's so much more demanding. Every game there's pressures, it's just everything matters in League Two, people's lives on the line, and it's just so much more pressure, it's just different. But I think the biggest thing I learned was growing up and maturing and becoming a real man.
Definitely. And speaking of being a real man, your upbringing's been quite interesting. You went to Canada when was it 2009? You moved out there?
No, 2007.
2007?
Yeah.
How was Canada? You said you really enjoyed it.
Yeah, a beautiful country. Honestly, I couldn't speak more highly for the country of Canada. Growing up there, I met some amazing people. Still talk to some of them till this day, But it's a beautiful country. I'd love to go back when we're all done with football.
And do you feel like the youth system out there helped you to get to the opportunities that you've had since? Because it's obviously a different setup to in England.
Yeah, obviously it's a lot different, and I think the way I got found was a lot different. You know, the way I got found was my mum was really close friends with Kanu, and she brought Kanu over, and then he ran a little camp in Canada, brought me over to Palace, and then that's how I've come over. But obviously, look, my dad's from England. I was born here, so it's not like I've come to a new country. I've come back to where I was born. But yeah, my story's it's a crazy one. Yeah,
that's quite an interesting character to have. Work with you when you're that age. Kanu, what was he like to be around?
Yeah, he's a really nice guy. He still talks to my mum today. They'll talk about me. Mum will tell me she spoke to Kanu. Yeah, he's just a really, really nice guy. And yeah, man, I miss him. I want to see him again.
We'll have to get him down to Plough Lane for a game one time.
Might have to. I'll give him a message about it.
Nice one. And that gives you a nice problem to have. I mean, you could play for England, you could play for Canada, you could play for Nigeria. Do you have any allegiance to any of them in particular? Obviously, I know you played youth football for a couple of them.
Yeah, I played youth football for England. And, played one game for Canada one time. But I mean, for me, I'm not really too fussed about international football at the minute. For me, I'm more worried about my development at club football. Performing for Wimbledon now, and just being the best I can be week in, week out, and just let the international football come to me. When the countries come to me, that's when I got to make a decision. But I can't really be too focused on it now. They've not come. I mean, I was in and around England's 20s last year, but clubs football is more important. I just got to work on my development. I'm a young kid, need to keep pushing and get to where I want to be.
Does it help you feel a bit more comfortable knowing that you only live around the corner in Croydon and you're at a club that's very local to yourself?
Definitely. I mean, look, for me, it's just like I love my family. I love my dad, love my brother. My mum lives in Nigeria, so I don't get to see that often. But man, being able to live with my family still is massive, and I feel like being around my family more will definitely show a lot more on the pitch. I'll be a lot more comfortable. I'll be more me, and yeah, just being able to stay with my family is just so important.
And then, what's your strengths as a goalkeeper? Would you say? What do you pride yourself on?
I pride myself on my ability to make saves. I feel like I have a massive belief that I can make saves that a lot of keepers aren't able to make due to my athleticism. I think my shot stopping, that's my key attribute, my athleticism, my shot stopping, definitely. But I pride myself on my ball playing. I like to get the ball, play a bit, and if not, just kick it long, get up the pitch, hit the strikers.
Definitely. And then just a nice way to finish, what would your message be to the Wimbledon fans? You're obviously going to play in front of a few of them at Met Police tomorrow.
I can't. I'm so happy to be here. I can't wait for the season, and I'm gonna work every day off the pitch, on the pitch. I'm gonna work as hard as I can to be the best I can in every game, and hopefully at the end of the season we're lifting a title. And if we're not lifting a title, we're going up to League One.
Fingers crossed. Again, Owen, welcome to the club.
Thank you very much.